I ruffled some feathers yesterday, and I'm going to ruffle those feathers again today. Because sometimes tough love is the only way. I'm also going to talk about the impending recession, so you have that to look forward to. And I'm going to show you some stark realities when it comes to home prices, even on these affordable homes. But first, point of business that I have to remember to do every day. If you like my content, please like, follow, and share. And if you want to work together, the link is in my bio. All right, let's start off with the good news. From the Financial Post, the fear is real. TD is predicting 100,000 jobs will be lost because of recession. This is totally going to happen. As much as you want to blame the federal government, it's actually the fault of the United States. And they're on their way to making it worse. See, we've agreed that CUSMA compliant items will have no tariff, but there's a process to get items into CUSMA compliance. So that's going to take some time. In addition, there's the tariffs on all the other countries that are going to slow down global trade. We will be affected by that. And lastly, there's a little something extra in that bill. And people have figured that out over the weekend. And this is likely going to slow down the global economy even more because it's going to scare the shit out of investors. Look it up. This is 100% legit. Inside this budget bill are provisions that essentially turn the United States from a democracy into a dictatorship. Even so far as suspending elections. Go look it up. It's crazy shit. If the US federal government no longer has to answer to the Supreme Court, there's essentially no law left in the United States. If there's no law in the United States, investors are going to flee. We will, of course, suffer because of the ramifications of that as we try and diversify away from the United States. All right, yesterday I was talking about wartime houses, and many people were bringing up how they're still unaffordable. Look, it's unfortunate, but there are some realities that we have to face. This place is in Mississauga. It's $1.4 million. That's one of those wartime houses. It's one of those affordable houses. But it's in Mississauga. As you can tell, I'm not young. My entire life, the GTA has been double the price of anything outside the GTA. That's just a reality. I grew up in Welland. Later I moved to Fonthill, and I could see the CN Tower on my way home. The point is that in that area, home prices are half the price of the GTA. I moved to London about 25 years ago, and out here, home prices are a little less than half of what they are in the GTA. This home is almost exactly the same as that one in Mississauga, $530,000. Hoping for prices like this in the GTA is unreasonable. It will never happen. It's been this way since before I was born. The demand for land in the GTA will always cause it to be more than double the cost of land anywhere else. And then, I've said this many times, the replacement cost for a house is higher than the market price for that same house. Like, you'd have to pay $695 for this house. It's brand new. You could find one just like this, maybe 40, 50, 60 grand less. Almost new, but the same house. The other day, I did the math on this, estimated that the cost of this house to the builder is $565,500. Can I find a house about the same size in the same area for less than that cost? Yes, it took me about 10 seconds. This house is $509,000. To rebuild this house, to buy this land again and rebuild that house is going to cost you more than the market price of that house. Ergo, there is no bubble. It's not possible for there to be an asset bubble when the cost of the asset is higher than the market price of that asset. Can you bring land costs down so that this becomes half that price? No. There would have to be an economic collapse of such magnitude that you'll likely not have the job required to pay for that house. Michigan, Detroit, perfect example. Why did home prices fall in Detroit and in Michigan? Because the population of Detroit fell from over 2 million people to just over 700,000 people. Economic collapse. Detroit, the city of Detroit went bankrupt. Would you ever get London prices in the GTA? No, not unless the GTA becomes the next Hiroshima. And seriously, I'm being honest. It would have to be the next Hiroshima. There would have to be nuclear fallout. And even then, people would want to live in the GTA and they'd be willing to deal with the nuclear fallout for half of that price. I'm going to paraphrase Sherlock Holmes because we're looking for an answer over here. And Sherlock Holmes says that once you eliminate the impossible, what you have left, regardless of how improbable it may be, that's where you'll find your answer.